We got another one of them. Popping at the mouth or the side of his neck when he pouts. No argument, no rebuttal from. He ain't from my town, I don't know him, so I'm guessing he's a clown.
Hey, welcome to 3 Count Commentaries. It's your boy MagMongoSlade. So we're going to talk about Smackdown from May the 28th, 2021, in which WWE reminded themselves that they have a tag team division. Oh my lord, tag teams are actually doing stuff. I can't believe it. It's the damnedest thing I've seen in a long time. They actually care about tag teams all over again. We'll see how long this ride lasts. So, because it's a work rate show, I'll talk about the entire show. I also got to talk about Dynamite. So, I mean, boy. Anyway, let's get into SmackDown, which was very good. So we get the Usos. The Usos start the show. Jimmy is jingling and jangling. He is so excited. He's been waiting over a year to get to hook up with Jay again and, get on the hunt for the tag team titles. He can't wait. And even Jay is a little bit excited at the top of the show anyway. He's a little excited. So Roman basically decides to play daddy. He walks up and says, "What's your intentions with my daughter? I mean, what's your intentions here? What's going on here?" To which Jimmy said that, "Look, we're trying to win the titles. We're trying to win. That's the intentions. The intention is winning." And Roman was like, "You got it all figured out then, bruh. Good luck." And then Jimmy's like, "For real?" He's like, "Yeah, good luck." And Jimmy walks off, and then he says under his breath, like, "You're going to need it." And then he looks at Jay, and he's like, "Is this what you want?" And then, like, "Your brother's speaking for you now? This is what you want?" And Jay was like, "Look, man, I'm with you. I'm with you." And he's like, "You better tell him that. Tell him that." I got so much to say about this. So then the Street Profits, they come out, they start the show, and they are super excited because this is, in some ways, I guess, is it a dream match? Well, the Street Profits haven't been around for long enough for it to be a dream match, but this felt mega. This felt like it was something big, something important. It was just sad that it was not in the main event spot, and it was also not for the titles, and it's also not in front of a crowd. But I'm gonna bypass all that and say this is still a pretty big deal. So they talked about this being the Clash of the Titans, and they kind of made fun of the Usos, the haka, the dance that they used to do from when they was babyface Usos many years ago. And then he says that Jay is in Roman's head rent free, or Roman is in Jay's head rent free, and seems like Jimmy about to be in there too. So then Jimmy and Jay come out talking about they the best tag team in the biz, and Street Profits are in the way of the family business. And now they got to get them. And you say you wanted a dream match? Well, here come the nightmare. And then they go out there and have this almost like basketball in the hood type of match, where it was just basically them taunting each other. That's for the first few minutes. But this match was awesome. This match rocked. The Usos and the Street Profits was dope as fuck. Plenty of taunting, and from the Street Profits. The Usos were very aggressive, especially Jay. Tez's athleticism when he did the helo over the ring post, amazing. The finish I didn't care for, but it made a little bit of sense. Jimmy was about to get beat. Jay saves him, and then Jay ends up pinning Tez with a shuffle sidekick, which I didn't like that. I think Tez is a little bit tougher than that, but I don't know. I don't know why he had to lose to that, of all things. The Usos winning, still, it makes sense, I guess. So the Usos win the match. They immediately go to Adam Pearce like, "Look, obviously we're the number one contenders now. So whoever wins the tag team championship match, we want them next week." And then, Jay is less than enthused as Adam Pearce agrees to this whole ordeal. So now Adam Pearce is like, "Oh boy, hey Jay." And Jay's like, "Oh man, what am I gonna do, man?" So from there, we ended up getting Jay and Roman Reigns. Jay has to, explain to Roman Reigns why he is chasing these tag team championships. What is he doing? So Roman basically just sits down next to Jay and kind of explains to him very calmly, like, "Jay, what is this? tag team championships. You used to be main event Uso. Jimmy comes back. You in the first match. You're in the opening match. You've been relegated to the opening match. He says, I just want the best for you. What happened to we? What happened to we? I want the best for you. I just want the best for you and the best for your family. And he says, like, I don't want you to go back to which one of them is you again. I don't want you to go back to that. And then Jay was stressed. Oh, the man is under such pressure. I think Jay Uso probably he is the most under pressure wrestler ever. Though. He's just real stressed all the time. And he's like, "Oos, I never even thought about it like that." He's like, maybe you should. Maybe you should. As Jimmy is going around here making all these championship matches, maybe you should think about that. Maybe you should consider, do you want to go back to being which one are you? This is phenomenal storytelling, right? Now you got Roman is trying to break up the brotherhood. Now this is the classic abuser stuff, right? In domestic violence situations, usually people try to separate you from your family. So Jimmy and Jay are, brothers, twins. And Roman's squeezing in between them. Basically saying, like, look, you can't be with him and me. You can't hang out with him and be a champion with him and hang out with me. I'm the head of the table. I'm the guy. It's not my idea for you guys to be the tag team champions. I want you guys at my side, not to be doing your own thing, And Jimmy's just got he's like, we could all be champs, bro. We could all be champs. That's gonna be sweet. Like we our titles, your title, we could be. And Roman's like, that doesn't work for me, brother. That doesn't work for me, brother. I don't need that. I don't need that. You a loose cannon. You making decisions. You can't do that. You can't make decisions. And that's really what it all boils down to. Because that's one of those things where you would be thinking about it, like, why would Roman care? He should want the Usos to be the tag team champions. And so, therefore, he has control over the tag team division and his singles division. But the truth is, he wouldn't have any control over the Usos because it's all Jimmy's idea. Jimmy is running around doing Jimmy shit and dragging Jay along with him. And in doing so, weakening his pull on Jay. So he's got to be territorial. He's got to cut that tether. He got to, there can be none of this unless it's through me. Right? So that's a very interesting thing where, under normal circumstances, you would want those characters to go off and be great, and in a normal heel situation, you would see Roman be like, "Go get those titles. I want those belts." But in this situation, he's kind of like, "You're better than that." Just got Jay's head all fucked up. Like you better than this. Is that what you're going to go back to? Which one are you? And now he's got to go tell Jimmy, like, look, I don't know about this tag team thing, bro. But now they have a tag team championship match. So let's talk about the tag team champions, because this show was about the tag team division, which I still can't believe I'm saying that out loud. So Ray and Dominic versus the Dirty Dogs was the main event. Leading up to it, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode made excuses to why they lost last time. And Robert Roode said they had a flawed strategy when it comes to attacking young Dominic before the match. And that this gave Ray superpowers. And Dolph Ziggler starts trying to explain how his paternal instinct is like when a grandma can lift a car three times her body weight or some shit. I'm like, what in the hell? Like, I know what he's talking about. It's a strange phenomenon. But this is how he explained how they managed to lose at WrestleMania Backlash. Or at Backlash. I'm going to stop calling it WrestleMania Backlash. And basically, it's not going to happen again. He said it was pretty much a handicap match because it was him with the strength of 3 men versus the Dirty Dogs. Oh, Jesus. Later, Ray and Dominic say they also have a game plan. And that Dominic says, hey, they said my dad has the strength of 3 men, so I think we're pretty much going to win. They're idiots. So he said, no way we're going to lose, but we're proud of each other and they love one another, and that's all good. And the Mysterios being syrupy sweet with their "I love you, Dad. I love you too, son." So Ray is doing his pre-match prayer, which he always does. And when we come back from commercial, Ray is all beat up. He done got beaten up. And this leads to, the threat of the title match not happening. And then Rude and Ziggler is in the ring saying that, okay, obviously Dominic is not about to fight us by himself. He's not man enough for that. He ain't got the guts. He ain't got the gumption. So then, of course, Dominic comes out. And then Dolph Ziggler calls him Rey Mysterio Jr. It said this is child abuse. So then he goes in there to fight them alone. I did not like that he was essentially standing his own. Ziggler, I don't know what's up with Ziggler. When he's up, he's down. He's up, he's down. He's up, he's down. I get that he's in a position to help build other performers. But this was a chance to really just beat the paste out of Dominic. And I'm not saying beat him, beat him, win the titles. I mean, beat Dominic and show truly that he's fighting from underneath. Like he got way too much offense. He should have been stomped. These guys are world-class athletes. Ziggler is a world champion. Rude is a former United States champion. I'm talking in WWE parlance. I know he's a world champion too. They should have been able to stomp this kid and just, just throw him around, beat the hell out of him. He exists to get his ass beat by them. But instead, he was getting a little bit of offense in. He was slipping and sliding from him and stuff like that. And I was kind of like, the idea that one man, and the one man being a skinny 20-year-old, if he's even that old. I think he's 22. But skinny 22-year-old. Fighting two world-class veterans. One of them is a shooter and a former world champion, by the way. Seems kind of asinine to me. Okay, I know that's not the Dolph Ziggler character. But we know that Ziggler has a wrestling background. And it's been mentioned on TV before, so it's canon to his character. He should have been able to handle Dominic. And they should have been toying with him. Beating his ass, just embarrassing him. It probably would have got them over a lot more. And then, of course, they did Ye Old music play, and somebody is distracted, and Dominic wins by a roll-up. And I did not like that finish. That finish was not good. So, after the match, the Usos came out to stare down the Mysterios, setting up the big main event next week. Usos, Mysterios for the tag team titles. You also got Roman Reigns looming in the background, trying to break up his cousins. Or, at the very least, get Jimmy to fall in line. I'm pretty sure he'll be okay with it if Jimmy falls in line. So, do the Usos win this title match? No. I think that Jay is going to cause the Usos to lose. And I'm really sitting here thinking, what are they saving for the crowds? They're about to break up the Usos, and they're far and away from when crowds are going to return. I would think that if you're going to break up the Usos, that'll probably be one of the big things you do in front of a crowd, but I guess they just going to, that's still weeks and weeks away. I think they're not having a crowd until damn near almost time for SummerSlam. So, they might as well do it now. The Usos are going to end up broken up, and that's fine. The Mysterios just won the titles. I don't see the reason to take them off of them right now anyway. But it's a very, very odd decision to put them in this spot immediately. By the way, they didn't have to win a bunch of matches. They had to win one match. I mean, I guess it's a very high ranked team with the Street Profits, but I would at least think they would have to win another match. Have to beat somebody else, but I don't know who the hell else they are. Okay, let's move on. I'll say Natalya and Tamina defeated the Riot Squad. This was an actual solid showing from the Riot Squad. They actually got to do some stuff. This is the first time they've been on TV in weeks. I don't know where they've been. This is the first time they've been on TV in weeks. And we really should consider turning them heel and seeing what they can do as heels. Because they've been baby faces since Ronda left. Or, I think they may have turned, well, no, because Ruby Riott was injured for a long time. And then when she came back, she was a heel. But the team has been a babyface team for a long time. They might need to try them as heels. Let's see what they got as antagonists to Natalya and Tamina. Because they do need opponents. And there are none that I can see anyway. So, the next match, Bianca Belaire defeats Carmella. Bayley was on commentary being very, very annoying. Carmella basically just cut this kind of generic promo before the match. It wasn't worth going over. Bianca, she did some of her power spots were kind of off. Like she lifted Carmella. It looked like it was a struggle. She also kind of struggled with the KOD. I don't know. She seemed to be a little off her game tonight. I thought this might have been a feud, but this is the second one-off match that they've had. They had a one-off match several weeks ago where Carmella just lost, and now we're in a position where Carmella just loses. Maybe they need to do something with Carmella in the tag team division. I think I pitched this idea before, didn't I? Of throwing somebody from, did I say Jenny already? Because I think Jenny is the one who fits her character the best. Because Jenny's a fashionista. I think that fits Carmella's character a lot. But if they talk about bringing up people from NXT, they really should bring in somebody for Carmella to tag with. What's the name of Darby Allin's ex-wife? That girl. Just bring her on in. I don't know if she's ready yet. But you could bring her on in to be, well, I don't know if she could be Carmella's partner. I don't think they have a similar enough gimmick. I'm trying to think of somebody who's in the United States who has a similar gimmick to Carmella. Or get somebody who doesn't have a gimmick at all and partner up with them. Like, I think the Robert Stone thing could work for Carmella too. Have a male manager and she has two female flunkies in Aaliyah and Jessie Kamea. And that could really work. I think Carmella's character could really get over with something like that, considering they just took her sommelier. I mean, they're like, oh yeah, we like Reginald, give me Reginald, and then they just kicked Carmella to the curb, which was not cool. All right, so we got a really long segment from Seth Rollins where he challenged Cesaro to a fight, knowing that he wasn't there. Then said he's not there to disrespect him, to swing him, to overlook him, and said that he's the birthday boy. Then they did this cringe thing with Cesaro in the hospital. It's just like a guy moaning and the hospital thing beeping. They really didn't have anything. They really just felt like nothing. Like Seth Rollins was just in the ring trying to entertain himself. But it got a little bit more serious near the end, where he talks about being a man of integrity and a man of responsibility. And then he says that he blacked out, which is, of course, a contradiction. How could you be a man of responsibility and then say you blacked out and you're not responsible for what you did to another person? And then it says that some of the blame has to be on the fans. Because you guys, me, I'm guessing I'm included in this, brainwashed Cesaro into thinking he was good, that he was worthy of main events, that he was worthy of a spot, that he could disrespect him and get away with it. This is all of our fault. We did this to Cesaro. He should have led with this. He should have led with, look, I blacked out and did these horrible things to Cesaro, but it's not my fault because I blacked out. This is the fault of all of you who filled his head up with all this BS about him being a star and him being, special and all that crap. This is your fault. All the cringe comedy stuff that they were doing, that could have been chucked out. All the cackling he was doing, you could chuck all that out. That is the most important part, is the fact that he's going to blame his behavior on A, being unconscious, and B, well, if I am going to take some of the blame, you have to share it too. Because, again, that's classic narcissism. I think I went on a rant last week about Seth Rollins being a narcissist. And narcissists are always about that kind of stuff. Whenever they do something wrong, it's your fault. You made it happen. You get that with domestic abuse. Guy beats his wife. Look what you made me do. Because he, in his own brain, he doesn't think that he's making a decision. He's thinking he's reacting to something. And since Seth Rollins is really hyped up on this idea about being disrespected, that's kind of what's going on here. He's blaming Cesaro for him forward. And it's an interesting character angle. I just wish they would stop doing some of the sillier stuff, like having him cackling and spinning in circles and doing long-winded promos and not saying nothing. I'm not a fan of that. Not a fan of that at all. So then we get random match, Kevin Owens versus Apollo Crews. And this match was essentially a sprint. I guess they didn't have a lot of time. So Kevin Owens hits the stunner on Apollo Crews, literally 3 minutes into the match. And then Aziz hits him in the throat with the Nigerian nail, which causes the disqualification. And then Kevin Owens begins to sell the Nigerian nail like it's an arrow through his throat. He's just coughing all over the place, hacking, rolling around on the ground. And even later in the promo, he wants a title match with Aziz banned from ringside. He's coughing. I want Apollo Crews. I'm like, what? Come on, bro. You should be able to talk by now. Like, goddamn, he hit you in the throat with his thumb, not with the Sears Tower. Like, come on, man. What the hell's going on here? I was really disappointed though. I was disappointed in how they booked the match, because Crews did not look good at all. He's a heel, so it doesn't really matter that much. But considering these two guys, I believe they wrestled not too long ago after this, and now they're going to have this title match, and hopefully Apollo Crews wins and gets to continue doing his thing here. I don't see the benefit in putting the belt on Kevin Owens, but they've done dumber things. With WWE, that threat always looms, that they could just decide that Apollo Crews isn't working and we're going to pull the plug on it or whatever. Even though I don't think that's the case. I think that, it's the most relevant he's been in a long time. And I think that people still mock the accent, but I think that the character is still there. It's still interesting. But I was also quite interested in, there was no Aleister Black and no Big E on this show. Now, I'm okay with it because you don't need to follow up everything every week, but they have to be on the show next week, or a lot of people are going to lose steam on it. Like, this show was very heavily on matches, and it had a couple of big matches on it. Well, one big match on it. And, next week is going to have a couple of big matches on it because I have the Intercontinental title match on it too. So we kind of need Aleister Black and Big E to be on that show, or at least to talk. At least to talk. Big E should have been on this show at least to talk. At least to tell us how he feels about Aleister Black kicking him in the face. Speaking of people getting kicked in the face, Rick Boogs played the guitar. And you know what? If my ex-girlfriend loved me as much as Pat McAfee loves Rick Boogs, I probably would be married with kids right now. But alas, this kind of love can only be between men because they're such romantic individuals. And Pat McAfee's bromance with Rick Boogs will go down in the annals of history, one of the greater bromances in the history of the WWE. And I did not see it coming. Last week felt like an aberration because Rick Boogs was just plain cool. This week, I think that he was ready to throw his underwear at Rick Boogs. It's ridiculous. He was effusive about Rick Boogs, okay? Boogs is cool as shit, though. I still don't understand why he's hanging out with Nakamura, but it was cool as shit. And so Shinsuke Nakamura wrestled Chad Gable in a match that was very fucking good. It was short, but man, Gable is so good. This match starts with Otis slamming Nakamura with the big horse slam. I don't know what the hell we call it. what did Mark Henry call it? The world's strongest slam. And then that gave Chad Gable the advantage early. He does like the double German, not the double German suplex, but the double belly to belly suplexes. And then we get some little fast paced action between the two. And boom, Kinshasa, Nakamura wins. Good win for Nakamura. We need more Gable. Gable has a personality. We need to do something with him. While the match is going on and all the craziness is happening, King Corbin comes down and steals his crown back, and he yells about this being his crown. And it always kills me when people are standing like they're waiting for something to happen. Like, this is exactly what's happening here. He's got the crown and slowly about to put it on his head as he yells about this being my crown. This is really my crown. And then he goes to put it on his head very slowly so that Rick Boogs can hit him from behind. And then after Boogs hit him from behind, Nakamura scoops up the crown and puts it back on. And like I said before, two guys fighting over a crown. They should just put it on a ladder. Fuck it. The crown on a ladder match. The winner is the real king. Who cares? Not fun. Not fun. I wanted them to bring back King of the Ring. But this was a very solid SmackDown. Enjoyed the hell out of it, top to bottom, if we're being honest. The only thing I kind of didn't like was some of the stuff that was going on around things that I did like. For instance, I think the Mysterios and Dolph Ziggler feud was okay. I just didn't like how they booked these matches where, they're essentially handicap matches. And Rude and Ziggler still can't beat them. Like, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And that's the WWE, that's when you think they care about tag teams. They do stuff like that. And then there was some of the awkwardness about, Kevin Owens coughing. Just, that was too much. It was too much. And Seth Rollins' promo was too much. They kind of needed to shave some time out of that thing and gave that extra time probably to Owens and Apollo Crews. Or to a segment in which Big E can just talk about, why he thinks that Aleister Black kicked him in the face or something. But otherwise, from top to bottom through storytelling, this episode of SmackDown was pretty good. Let me know what you guys think. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later, man. Peace.
Old non-aggression. Once that lesson sets in, you'll see a session. But you got an affection for no progression, regression.